Beloved children, the Blessed Virgin Mary has revealed that an echo from on high, a sound of purely celestial origin and never before perceived by human ears, will travel throughout the earth simultaneously before December 31st, 2025, reaching every heart wherever the person may be, and the question that echoes now is, are you truly ready for what will come after that moment? Dear children, brothers and sisters in Christ, on this sacred day of December 12th, 2025, heaven sends us a warning that no soul should ignore, for what is about to be revealed will completely transform the understanding of future events. The Heavenly Mother has spoken again, and her message carries an urgency never before seen. Just 72 hours ago, in an extraordinary manifestation before 3 visionaries scattered across different continents, Texas, Portugal, and the Philippines, the same revelation was transmitted word for word. My beloved children, the sound from heaven will come before the great warning, and when you hear it, you will have exactly 2 days to prepare your souls. If you feel that something within you has been trying to get your attention, if in recent days you have noticed strange signs that you cannot explain, then this message is directly for you. Stay with me until the end because I will reveal the 3 previous signs that the Virgin Mary herself described and that are already happening at this very moment, before our very eyes, without many realizing it. And if these words touch your spirit, let your faith manifest itself right now. For even a simple gesture of support can be the spark that awakens another sleeping soul. Every action done with love rises to heaven like a living prayer. But what sound is this that the Mother of Heaven announced? Why precisely now, in these last days of 2025? Children, we are living in a time that no previous generation has experienced. A time when humanity finds itself divided between light and darkness, between fidelity to the Creator and the seduction of a world that has rejected God. Never before has there been such a profound estrangement, such dense darkness covering entire nations. That is why the Virgin, moved by infinite mercy, warns us, and the world has crossed the line, and the cup of iniquity is about to overflow, but my Son, in his endless love, will give one last opportunity, and here is what many are not prepared to hear. The celestial sound will not resemble anything our senses have ever experienced, and it will not come from instruments, loudspeakers, or human transmissions. It will arise directly in the soul of every living being. The deaf will perceive it, those who sleep will awaken instantly, and even the little ones still in their mother's wombs will feel its divine vibration. Imagine a single instant in which all of humanity, each of the 8 billion souls, experiences the same manifestation coming from heaven. Sister Lucia of Fatima, in private writings revealed this year, described that the sound will have the purity of the song of myriads of angels mixed with the deepest roar of the heavens, but the righteous will feel peace, not fear. And the Virgin presented 3 unmistakable signs that will accompany this sacred moment. First, its exact duration will be 3 minutes and 33 seconds, and during this time everything will cease, as if creation itself were holding its breath. Airplanes will remain suspended, cars will stop on their own, and even the water will seem still. Second, each person will hear it in the intimate language of their soul. Some will hear words, others celestial melodies, and still others will feel as if the Mother herself were weeping for those who have strayed. Third, when the last echo dissipates, all of humanity will know inwardly, without any confusion, that the great warning will arrive exactly 72 hours later, and this knowledge will be placed directly in the heart of each one by heaven. And so that you may understand the greatness of what is to come, I share what happened to Sarah Thompson from Dallas, Texas. On December 7th, 2025, at 3:33 a.m., Sarah awoke overcome by a profound shiver and saw Our Lady of Grace hovering above her bed, enveloped in a golden light so intense that it illuminated every corner of the room. The Virgin said to her, "My daughter, prepare my children, for the sound is at the door. Many will fall to their knees, others will try to flee in terror, but those who bear my seal will remain in peace." Immediately afterward, Sarah saw an impressive vision. Millions looking to the sky, emotional crowds in the streets, all of New York paralyzed in Times Square with people crying, families embracing in London's Trafalgar Square, and in Sydney the bells of the famous opera house silenced by the celestial melody as the clock struck exactly noon. Can you imagine this moment that will break all barriers of human understanding? And I tell you this not because I come to announce fear, but because I wish to lead every heart back to the path of my Son, who is light, mercy, and truth. Humanity, in over the years, it has strayed from the paths of peace, forgetting love, compassion, and faithfulness to God. And when love departs, chaos finds space. When prayer is silenced, darkness tries to grow. I do not come to condemn, but to awaken. Many in the world are facing the consequences of choices born of pride, violence, and indifference. But I say to you, my children, there is still time to return. There is still time to rebuild. There is still time to rekindle the light that comes from heaven. Open your hearts and pray. Allow God's grace to transform what has been wounded. I welcome you, I accompany you, I ask the Father for each of you. Walk with confidence, because mercy is greater than any shadow, and the love of my Son overcomes all destruction. Many wonder why now, why these words, why this warning that resonates like a soft, yet firm echo. I tell you, because the world has turned away from the light, because many have allowed pride to harden their paths, because faith, in so many hearts, has fallen asleep like a small flame surrounded by the wind. And when humanity forgets the Creator, chaos slowly takes shape. It is not God's punishment, my children, but the consequence of forgotten choices of love, care, kindness, and justice. What the world is experiencing is the fruit of human hands that have closed their eyes to the light that has always been before them. But I come to you not to bring fear, but to offer my embrace, my cloak, my presence that consoles and strengthens. I come to call each child back to the path that leads to true peace, the peace that does not depend on the world, but on the soul that surrenders to my Son with trust and sincerity. Open your hearts, allow grace to transform you. Let God's mercy heal what is wounded, restore what has been broken, and illuminate what has been taken over by darkness. I know your pain. I collect your tears. I walk with you when everything seems heavy and difficult. The Father does not abandon. The Son does not turn away. The Holy Spirit does not remain silent. Even when humanity is lost, heaven continues to call, waiting, offering love that never tires. My children, do not be deceived by violence, by anger, by despair. The world shouts, but God whispers, and it is in the silence of prayer that you will hear the answer you seek. Pray with confidence. Approach God with humility. Turn your gaze to what truly matters. Each day, choose the light, choose love, choose peace. You are not alone. I accompany you. I protect you. I place each of you before the heart of my Son. Allow him to heal your families, strengthen your faith, and restore all that the world has tried to destroy. Walk in hope, sustained by grace. And when fear tries to touch your hearts, remember, God's love is greater than any shadow, and mercy always triumphs over all that is darkness. And the world, little by little, has turned away from God, and many souls have allowed themselves to be enveloped by the false glitter of sin, by the illusion of fleeting things, by the voices that lead astray from the path of truth. When the light of heaven is forgotten, darkness tries to grow, and Satan, who always seeks to weaken the children of the Most High, takes advantage of every breach, every wound, every heart that has lost hope. But I am here, my children, as a mother who never abandons. I come to protect, to guide, to awaken the faith that still lives within you, even if it seems small. I come to remind you that you are not alone, that evil does not have the last word, that God's mercy is greater than any darkness that tries to envelop the world. I ask you, be strong, firm, vigilant. Do not let discouragement weaken your soul. Pray, because prayer is the weapon that breaks through all temptation. Pray because when you place yourselves before God, the forces of heaven move in your favor. Pray because each Hail Mary, each simple and sincere supplication, illuminates paths that you cannot yet see. Children, Satan desires confusion, division, sadness, and fear. But I, your mother, bring peace, light, courage, and hope. Take refuge under my mantle. Let me lead you to my Son, who is the source of all strength and all victory. Do not allow sin to steal what God has planted in you. Seek purity, seek truth, seek grace. Even if the whole world seems to distance itself from the Creator, you can be the flame that remains lit. You can be those who resist, those who believe, those who remain standing when everything around seems to collapse. And know this: every step you take towards the light weakens the darkness that tries to surround you. I am with you, my children. I walk beside each one of you. I protect your families. I guard your homes. And I ask heaven to strengthen your hearts so that nothing will make you fall. Have faith, be firm, rise up whenever you stumble. God's love is greater than any evil, and whoever remains in love will never be defeated. My dear children, listen even more deeply to the words I place before you today. Words that spring from the love of a mother who watches her children walking amidst a wounded, confused world, far from the divine light. The Father's heart has always remained open, always called tenderly, always offered mercy. But humanity, in many places, has allowed pride, violence, indifference, and lack of love to take the place where peace once dwelt. When man distances himself from God, he loses himself within himself. He seeks happiness in empty sources, tries to fill his heart with that which does not give him life, follows paths that promise freedom but deliver only weariness and pain. And so, my children, sin spreads like a shadow that tries to cover what is sacred, and Satan, ever vigilant, tries to use this separation to sow more confusion, more temptation, more division among you. But know this: none of you are abandoned. I, your mother, rise as a light in the midst of darkness, as a refuge in the midst of storms, as a guide when the whole world seems to darken. I come to warn, but also to protect. I come to correct, but also to console. I come to awaken sleeping souls and strengthen those who already strive for holiness. My children, you need to be strong, very strong. Not strong in the eyes of the world, but strong in faith, strong in perseverance, strong in love that remains faithful even when everything seems to crumble. True strength is born from prayer, from the silence that listens to God, from the humility of those who place themselves in the hands of the Creator and say, "Thy will be done." Pray, my children. Pray when you are happy and pray when your heart is weary. Pray for peace. Pray for your homes. Pray for the souls lost in the illusions of sin. Each prayer is like a flame lit in the middle of the night, a light that the enemy cannot extinguish. Do not underestimate the power that exists in a simple Hail Mary said with love and trust. I cover you with my mantle, and where my mantle rests, evil does not remain. But I also ask, do your part. Be vigilant. Take care of your thoughts, your words, your choices. The enemy hides where there is carelessness. He tries to weaken homes, tries to sow quarrels, tries to divide families, tries to take away the peace of the heart. Therefore, remain firm, united, attentive. Remember, my children, God has not given up on humanity. He continues to call, continues to forgive, continues to pour out grace upon those who approach him with sincerity. No matter how far someone has gone, there is always a way back. And every step towards God is a victory against darkness. I am with you every moment. When you cry, I am by your side. When you fall, I lift you up. When you fear, I embrace you. When they pray, I present their prayers to the heart of my Son. And I tell you, no effort is forgotten. No tear is ignored. No faith is too small to be transformed into light. Follow with courage, my children. Even if the world turns away, you can be the ones who remain. Even if many are lost, you can be the ones who guide. Even if the darkness seems great, remember, the smallest light is capable of breaking the greatest shadow. Pray, my children. Pray the Holy Rosary with faith, with surrender, with deep trust in the power that God pours out upon those who place themselves under the light of prayer. The Rosary is a chain of grace. It is a shield that surrounds your families. It is a light that protects your homes even when the world around seems to plunge into confusion and turmoil. Many of you have faced difficult days, days when chaos seems to loom, when challenges arrive without warning, when the heart feels weary and the soul almost loses its strength. But I tell you, no evil can remain where prayer flourishes. No fear can dominate where the Rosary is prayed with love. No destruction can reach those who take refuge in the presence of my Son through this precious prayer. The Rosary, my children, is more than words. It is a path. Each bead you touch is like a flame lit in heaven. Each Hail Mary is like a breath of light descending upon your homes. Each mystery meditated upon opens the doors of grace and closes the doors through which evil tries to enter. When you pray, I pray with you. When you ask for protection, I cover your homes with my mantle. When you cry out for peace, I place your requests before the merciful heart of Jesus. My children, the world has been experiencing moments of disorder, and many are facing pain, loss, conflict, and uncertainty. But you do not need to walk alone. Pray the Rosary in your families. Unite your homes in faith. Call heaven into your homes. Prayer unites what is divided, strengthens what is weak, heals what is wounded, illuminates what was dark. I tenderly ask you, pray, even when you are tired. Pray, even when you don't know what to say. Pray, even if it seems difficult. Heaven listens, heaven answers, heaven acts. Each Rosary is like a wall of light around those you love. I am with you, my children. I walk beside every family that seeks God. I protect every home that invokes my name with faith, and I comfort every heart that surrenders to prayer. Do not fear the challenges of the world. Faith transforms, prayer strengthens, and the love of my Son protects like no other. And I implore you with all the tenderness of my heart. Pray, pray deeply. Pray the Holy Rosary with perseverance. This prayer, my children, is a safe bridge between heaven and earth, a mantle of protection that envelopes your families, a shield of love against all that tries to destroy the peace of your homes. Many of my children have faced times of great tribulation. I see divided homes. I see wounded hearts. I see families struggling against storms that seem too great to bear. I see tears shed in silence. I see nights of worry. I see fear trying to take the place where trust in God should dwell. That is why I insist, that is why I call, that is why I extend my hands over you. Pray the Rosary, because in it there is spiritual strength that you cannot yet fully understand. Each time you hold the Rosary, my hands join with yours. Each Hail Mary that you pronounce with faith becomes like a small flame that dispels the darkness. Each mystery meditated upon opens paths that the enemy cannot cross. The Rosary is not just a prayer. It is a weapon of peace. It is light against the shadows. It is comfort for the desperate. It is medicine for those who suffer. It is protection for homes that invoke my name. My children, I know that many of you are tired, discouraged, disoriented in the face of the difficulties you have faced. The chaos of the world tries to extinguish hope, tries to make you believe you are alone, tries to destroy the faith that still lives within you. But I tell you, none of my children are alone. I walk before you, I open paths where there were walls, I strengthen what was weak, I renew what was broken. When the Rosary echoes in a home, the enemy loses strength. Where the Rosary is prayed daily, the angels of the Lord stand guard, peace flourishes and grace multiplies. Even in moments when fear tries to enter, prayer raises invisible, firm and luminous walls that evil cannot cross. Therefore, children, do not let go of this precious weapon. Pray for your families. Pray for those you love and for those who have hurt you. Pray for your homes, for your children, for your parents, for those who no longer know how to pray. Pray for those who have lost faith. Pray for those who have strayed from God's love. Pray for those who live enveloped in pain and sadness. Each prayer sheds a drop of light into the heart of the world. Remember, my children, I come not to frighten you, but to strengthen you. I come to remind you that love always wins, that mercy is more powerful than any shadow, that God does not abandon those who seek Him with humility. Even when everything around seems to fall, those who pray remain standing, sustained by divine grace. I embrace you, my children. I embrace your pains, your fears, your worries, and your dreams. I cover you with my mantle and ask my Son to shower your lives with blessings, protection, and peace. Pray the Rosary and allow heaven to enter your homes. Prayer transforms what you cannot transform on your own. And when I speak to my children, it is not to announce terror, but to remind them that heaven has never ceased to call them, to guide them, and to ask them to awaken to the love of God that so many, unfortunately, have left behind. This world, my children, has strayed from the paths of heaven. Many have forgotten prayer, peace, kindness, and fidelity to my Son. And when the human heart distances itself from the light, it begins to hear more easily the noises of fear, confusion, and discouragement. That is why I come as a mother to tell you. Prepare yourselves not for fear, but for grace. Not for darkness, but for light. Not for punishment, but for a profound inner awakening. I call you to conversion, to sincere prayer, to a humble return to the heart of God. What many call a sign or mysterious sound should not be interpreted as an announcement of destruction, but as an invitation to look within yourselves and realize how much you need to draw closer to heaven again. My children, the true warning is not an external event, but an inner call. Return to love, return to prayer, return to peace, return to my Son. Every time humanity strays, I draw even closer, to guide, to protect, to awaken sleeping consciences. My desire is that none of you walk lost, that no heart be overcome by fear, that no child live far from grace. Embrace the light, my children. Pray, talk to God. Seek the truth, open your hearts. True preparation is living faith, an awakened soul, strengthened love. Many of you feel restlessness in your spirit. You perceive things you cannot explain, sounds, premonitions, inner movements that seem to touch the soul in a different way. I tell you again, do not be afraid. Heaven does not send signs to frighten his children, but to awaken them to what truly matters. The world, my children, has strayed so far from God's love that many no longer distinguish between light and darkness. Humanity runs, gets lost, gets distracted, seeks answers in empty paths, tries to fill its heart with that which can never give it life. And it is precisely in this emptiness that fear grows, that despair takes shape, that the illusions of the enemy find space to confuse and wound. But I come, my children, as a mother, to remind you that the true calling is not in external things, but in the profound movements of the heart. Many speak of signs, many fear what they do not understand, but the great warning I ask you to heed is the inner warning. The call to conversion, the return to love, the urgent need to place God once again at the center of your lives. Yes, my children, humanity has strayed from the paths of heaven, and that is why so many live confused, without direction, trapped in the noise of the world and the empty promises that are never fulfilled. Heaven calls, but few listen. Heaven speaks, but many close their hearts. Heaven lights up, but many prefer to walk in the shadows of their own will. That is why I insist, that is why I repeat, that is why I touch the souls of those who can still feel. Awaken, my children. Do not awaken to fear, awaken to grace. Do not awaken to despair. Awaken to the love that transforms, heals, and restores all that has been wounded. The greatest warning is this: return to God while your hearts can still hear his voice. Pray, my children, pray without ceasing. Prayer is the key that opens doors you cannot move on your own. It is the light that illuminates confused paths, the balm that heals old wounds, the shield that protects your families when the world seems to crumble around you. When you pray, I draw even closer. When you open your hearts, I envelop you with my mantle. When you ask for strength, I lead you to my Son, who is the source of all life. The enemy tries to spread fear, but I bring peace. He tries to confuse, but I bring clarity. He tries to bring you down, but I lift you up and sustain you. My children, do not let the noises of the world take the place of God's voice. Do not let hasty interpretations generate panic in your hearts. Everything that comes from heaven leads to peace, never to despair. Everything that is born of love strengthens, never destroys. Open your hearts, my children. Humanity needs to return to the path of light, and this return begins within each soul that decides to seek true love. The great warning that heaven sends you is not out there. It is within you. Live in grace, return to prayer, choose the light. Let God transform everything that you cannot change on your own.